After leading by 14 points, the Oregon Ducks nearly let another game slip away, but secure the win in the final minutes against the University of Southern California Trojans in a 75-67 victory. After a winless last week in Washington, tonight's game at Matthew Knight Arena became a crucial must-win situation for this Oregon squad.
Yeah, we really need these two games just to be back up in the Pac-12 standings, so we can solidify ourselves as a great team.
The Ducks seem to be firing on all cylinders as they open the game on a 16-2 run. Posting a successful first half, the Ducks went into halftime leading 44-31. But after allowing 15 turnovers and numerous second chance points, the Trojans were able to tie the game just under the 6-minute mark.
Second half, our defensive activity, the first 10 minutes, we gave up a lot of easy baskets again. We give other teams energy, and then we struggle. And so, we're a work in progress. We've got a tremendous amount of work to do, both offensively and defensively, but more so on the defensive end.
Oregon was able to overcome the Trojans' final surge with made free throws and the energy of none other than Joseph Young. Young recorded 19 points, going 4 for 4 on free throws and snagging 7 rebounds while also capturing his 1,000th point as an Oregon Duck. Tonight's win marks the 9th consecutive victory against the Trojans for the Ducks. Looking forward to Saturday's coming game against UCLA, the Ducks must focus in on executing defense the entire 40 minutes. For DuckTV Sports, I'm Taylor Foster.
What did you notice from this game?
The most glaring inconsistency was definitely on the defensive side of the ball. The Ducks' premier rim protector hasn't been quite himself. As of late, Jordan Bell has been struggling, recording only 3 blocks in 5 games. Before this dry spell, Jordan Bell threw himself a block party for the first 21 games. When Jordan Bell records 3 or more blocks, the Ducks are 11-3. They will need him to shake off this cold spell for the final stretch of the season.
What do the Ducks need to do to lock up their spot in March?
If the Ducks want to edge out UCLA for one of the final spots, they will have to pull out a big win over the Utes. Looking back to one of the Ducks' best performances of the season, their 95-72 victory over Wazoo, where they played unselfishly, assisting on nearly 66% of all made baskets. They also kept control of the ball, only turning the ball over 6 times. This level of consistency on both offense and defense is what the Ducks will need if they hope to make it to March. The Oregon Ducks opened up a 3-game home series tonight at PK Park against the St. John's Red Storm. After a 4-hour game lasting 12 innings, the Ducks finally took the win in a 4-3 victory. In the bottom of the first inning, Brandon Cuddy led the charge for the Ducks with a 3-score home run. The Ducks held St. John's scoreless, only allowing 2 hits. Until the 9th inning where the Ducks broke down defensively. St. John's was able to load up the bases after a pair of singles and a walk with no outs. The Red Storm drove in 3 runs to send the game into extra innings. Coach George Horton commented on the lack of team mentality throughout the duration of the game.
I think there was some selfishness, some other little things that you'd have to be in our dugout to know. And I think that devil of I've got to do it by myself showed up in the Duck uniform tonight, and we got to fix that.
Both teams showed promise in the 11th inning, but were unable to drive in their runners. The Ducks finally took it home after a wild throw off a Mitchell Tolman grounder, which ran in Matt Urist for the final score of the night. The Oregon Ducks host the Red Storm here tomorrow at 2 p.m. for the 2nd game of the series. For DuckTV Sports, I'm Taylor Foster. We're used to a small ball philosophy under George Horton, but this season, Oregon is ripe with power hitters. The Ducks are returning 5 position starters, including first-team All-Pac-12 players Sean Chase and Mitchell Tolman, who combined for 16 home runs, 48 extra base hits, and 86 RBIs last season. The final home game ends in upset. The Oregon Ducks overcame the number 9 ranked Utah Utes in a 69-58 victory in a packed Matthew Knight Arena. The Ducks and Utes played an even first half, both teams shooting 43% from the field. Oregon went into halftime with a 5-point lead over Utah. But just under the 7-minute mark in the second half, the Ducks took control of the game, only allowing the Utes to shoot 32% for 31 points on the half. Coach Dana Altman was pleased with the second half performance of the squad.
Very pleased with 32% in the second half, and and beating them 9 on the boards. I thought, that was the difference in the game that second half.
Although it was senior day at Matthew Knight Arena, freshman Dylan Brooks led the Ducks to victory. Brooks went 7 for 10 on shooting to post 19 points. While Joseph Young struggled today, only posting 14 points, he was proud of Brooks' accomplishments on the court.
Like, Dylan's not a freshman no more. I told him that, and he's a sophomore now. He's got to make another transition in the game, and he did very well at the end of the game. Executed, got him a good little poster, and he stepped up big time tonight. I feel like a lot of guys stepped up big time on the defensive end.
This resume-boosting win is the first victory for the Ducks against a top 10 team this season. This may give the Ducks the edge over UCLA in seeding for the NCAA tournament. For DuckTV Sports, I'm Taylor Foster. In the George Horton era, it is the first time we are questioning pitching rather than hitting. But Oregon is welcoming back their ace pitcher, Cole Irving. The redshirt freshman underwent Tommy John surgery before the start of last season. His freshman year, Irvin posted a 2.48 ERA and won a school record 12 games, earning freshman All-American honors. The 51-27 win over the Utah Utes solidifies the Ducks' Pac-12 North title, stamping their ticket to Levi Stadium to take on the Pac-12 South champions on December 5th in Santa Clara, California. But this celebration for the squad is muted by a series of devastating injuries suffered by members of Oregon's offense. 3 key Oregon starters suffered injuries during Saturday night's matchup.